Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had so many questions. How do we record an episode? Where do we find background music? How do we get our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places that people like to listen? And where do we find advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. Anchor makes it simple to get up and running. You can upload and schedule your podcasts ahead of time. It publishes to all the major podcast platforms. You can easily check your stats. I could go on, but instead, why don't you go and get started? Go to anchor.fm/start to join the e-commerce minute and a diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
It's the e-commerce minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts Bart Mraz and John Suter. The e-commerce minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. Retail transformation is very much underway as traditional retailers close stores and file for bankruptcy at rates not seen since the Great Recession. In fact, over 6,700 stores have shuttered in 2017 alone. Big retail can no longer dominate in today's digital environment without reevaluating their strategy. How can retailers reinvent themselves to be successful in today's market? What do the new rules of retail mean for 2018? Download Sumo Heavy's newest white paper to learn the best practices and principles. The free white paper can be downloaded at newrulesofretail.info. That's newrulesofretail.info. It's e-commerce minute for January 31st, 2018.
In today's episode, the Swedish shopping mall for recycled goods.
Eskilstuna is a city 100 kilometers west of Stockholm and features a shopping center dedicated entirely to repaired and upcycled goods. But the mall is not just a big yard sale. ReTuna Återbruksgalleria opened in 2015 and features 14 shops, a restaurant, an exhibition area, conference facilities, and even a training college for studying recycling. The staff at the recycling depot intercept and store incoming goods as they are dropped off, putting aside those that can be repaired or refurbished. These items are then passed on to workshops to be renovated and sold in specialist outlets for everything from furniture and building materials to computers and clothes. Shoppers at the mall have reason to feel good about the purchases. They're contributing to what's being called a circular economy, an alternative industrial model that encourages us to do more with less as the world's resources become increasingly scarce. But ReTuna is more than just a marketplace. It also aims to be a public educator. ReTuna organizes events, workshops, lectures, theme days, and more, all with a focus on sustainability. In addition to offering sustainable shopping and serving as a public educator in relation to environmental issues, ReTuna has generated over 50 new jobs. The mall has become an international news story. Documentary filmmakers, journalists, and curious tourists from around the world have visited ReTuna, and the concept is now spreading. I love this.
Yeah.
I love anything Swedish. Swedish people seem so happy.
Inga from Sweden?
It hurt, ReTuna
But you're wearing
Återbruksgalleria.
lederhosen. If you can name what movie that is from, you're good.
I do not.
That's fine. Anyway, you like everything Swedish.
I do like everything Swedish, except it's a little cold for me. But I would move there.
Yeah.
Well, it's this kind of hits my hippie vein here. I like things that are sustainable. I'm all for recycling and things being as sustainable as practically possible. What is not mentioned is that this shopping center is located next to a recycling center. So people in Europe general are more conscious about recycling, and especially so in the Nordic countries, especially Sweden, where they're very into it, very conscious about it, and there's very little waste. And so they come to this recycling center, and if there's something that's worth saving, this place takes it, dresses it up, and sells it into this mall. And the mall is really nice. It just looks like a really nice place in the city that people can go, and there's a restaurant, and it's.
Yep. I hope it's also recycled.
And it's also recycled, and I'm all about like the flea market culture and the vintage, and this is really great. I would love to go check this place out. I don't know how this would catch on in America, only for, I can't imagine someone spending that kind of money for the real estate involved to have a giant, basically yard sale. Recycling and sustainability aside, I don't see that. I don't see something this large happening in an urban center in the USA in this day and age. Perhaps something out in the burbs, but I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. I can see you don't have much to comment on this, so I'm going to go book my trip to Sweden.
I don't. This is like, it's just recycled, and it's a good recycling. Like, it's not just throwing stuff away, which is now I have stuff in common because I just kind of went with it. It's kind of amazing to me. Like, I live in New York, and on trash day, I'm just amazing how much trash there is.
Yeah.
Like, really, really amazed, like, how much is on the curb.
You know, it's the old saying, when you throw something out, where is out? Where is it? Like, people don't think it through. You know, there's only so much space for all of our crap to go. I try to be mindful about stuff like that, but I think it's hard. It's hard. And here we go on the packaging soapbox. Like, do you think about how many Amazon cardboard boxes you get? How much packaging, how much wasteful packaging there is? There is a lot of waste. And I don't think people really think about where throwing out, where out really is.
Yep, exactly.
All right. So folks, just get out there and recycle. Anything else, Bart?
That's it, my friends.
All right. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media @Sumo Heavy.